this is Dorothy with Dot Scrapbooking, and I am back again to show you the last project for the Daisy Daisy Scrapbook and Card Workshop. So these are the 3 cards that we're going to make here, and I will show you how I stamped and colored and put them together. So I think they came out to be real pretty cards, and all of the instructions are in this guide here. So it's really wonderful. This guide is just full of all sorts of great ideas for dual page scrapbooking, single page, and also card making. You can't beat it. You've got it all covered here. So this is a beautiful card that we're going to make. Now this one has got the die cuts, the thin cuts from the set that I got from buying this whole bundle of stuff for Daisy Daisy. And I went ahead and cut those out and put them together. And like you saw me do on the single page layout. And so I'm going to go ahead, and this card says, "You're amazing." So just going to go ahead and do a test stamp. I went ahead and seasoned it on the back of my hand and did a test stamp, and it came out looking really good. And then we've got our little white piece here that is going to go on top of our longer pink piece that is holding the daisy in the background for the daisy. So it's only getting about a 1/16 of an inch show of the pink around it. So this daisy was made with ballerina, so the dark ballerina is on the back side and the lighter ballerina is on the front. And the little funny petals, those are with the light ballerina also. And I'm going to go ahead and put the daisy together like I did on the single page cardstock, and I'm going to use the dots because they're really, for one thing, they're really strong. I really renewed my appreciation for those dots with how strong they are. They're not like Tombow where you get a little time to reposition. They're down and that's it. So I guess I've gotten used to being able to reposition with the Tombow. Anyway, they're going to hold it for a good long time. So I'm putting a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch piece of ballerina down, and I'm showing the darker side. And then a piece of the, that is just about 2.5 inches across and 4 inches in length. And so I'm putting the little built piece on top of those 2 pieces. So it makes a nice background. It's not just, a one color background. We've got a couple of different backgrounds going. So this is one of the stickers from the sticker sheet, and we're adding just a tad of color to this card with just a little bit of the green gingham showing. So I cut that little sticker in half and made another dovetail cut to go down as little flags down at the bottom there, just to highlight "You're amazing." So I'm not going to put anything for the time being in on the inside. No inside. I'll just use it as a note card. But the other things that it's got 2 of these little open daisies, which by now are my favorite. And I'm just trying to find another size, and I think I've used them all. Surprise, surprise, I really like them. So I'm just going to put 2 small ones, and the card is small, so the small daisies are just fine. With them being black, it has a big impact. So there we go. I don't have an absolutely perfect stamp on that, but that's okay. It's a handmade card. So the second card has got 2 pieces that we're going to dovetail once again. So this piece it's about 3 1/4, 3 inches wide, and it's like 4 inches in length. So I'm making the dovetails, and I'm going to put them all the way up to the top. And so the dovetails will just be hanging down a little bit and with just a little bit of clearance down at the bottom. And so I'm just going to put it all the way up at the top with maybe about 1/8 of an inch showing on the left side. And I'm going to do the same thing to the right side. I'm just going to put it all the way to the top and show about 1/8. I don't think that's quite 1/4. Between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch on each side. And then this is a sticker. It's a border sticker, and it is going to go across the top here to give the top a finished edge. And I'm going to go ahead, I hung it over a little bit so I could cut it off with the edge of the card. Put the rest of it back. And so what we're going to do here is I made one little change. Instead of putting a white background, now this is going to be a daisy, I'm putting a piece of ballerina glitter cardstock. And I'm really trying to use up my scraps of paper, including the glitter cardstock that I have. And this one was perfect because it was ballerina, so it goes perfectly with this set. But I thought, why not just add a little bit of glitz and glamour to the card? So this is a great big daisy that's in the stamp set, the Daisy Daisy stamp set. And it needs a 3x3, which I'm trying to find, 3x3 block. And it goes from edge to edge. So it's a good sized daisy. And I am going to go ahead and stamp it, but I've got to make sure that it tests out okay on my scrap paper. And not bad. I'm going to try one more time. There we go. Isn't that a pretty daisy? So that is going to go from one end to the other and top to bottom on that piece of cardstock. That cardstock is about 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. And it doesn't really make any difference because I'm going to cut it out. So you can just have any old scrap piece of white cardstock that you can use to stamp on that and then cut it out. And remember when you're cutting, kind of hold the scissors and move the cardstock. And that way you get a little bit of a, of course I'm having to move a lot with this, this particular cut. But you get a lot smoother cut when you're moving the cardstock rather than the scissors. So as soon as I move the scissors, then I get a little sharp edge. So just try to move the cardstock. And the other thing we're going to do is stamp 2 sets of leaves. So and I haven't used the leaves yet. These are nice leaves. I kind of wish they had a thin cut for these leaves. That would have been great. I sure would have used it for the single page layout. But you know, I could have cut them out. I guess I was being lazy. You get really spoiled with thin cuts. Okay, once again, I'm cutting these out, and it's always easier to cut these when you have the less amount of cardstock you have to move around, the better. So I'm just trying to move the cardstock while I'm cutting. I love these leaves. And I'm just trying to leave a little bit of a white edge around. I don't know, there's something about it that just looks, I'm getting a little close there. But it looks a little bit better if there's or I've just gotten used to it, if there's a white edge of cardstock around it. So the things that I need here, which I didn't bring with me, so I've got to go get them, are the pale pink tri-blend marker and the alpine tri-blend marker. So here they are, alpine and pale pink. And I'm going to use the dark pink for the inside, and I'm using the dark pink to kind of go over the lines in the petals. And then I will color the rest of it. The petals will be colored in the pale pink. And then, although I made a rim around the center of the daisy with the dark, I think I'm going to color it with the mid-tone color. So the petals are all going to get colored in pale pink. And it's easier to color it if you kind of outline what you're coloring, and then you can kind of fill it in. So it's a little tedious, but for me, it works better for me to outline and then come back and color. And I'm really trying to stay along the line and not go out of it. Brings back memories from kindergarten, right? Don't go outside the lines. So here we go. Got the last petal here. And then the middle is going to get done with the middle color, the mid color. So you can still see that there's kind of a shadow of the center of the daisy to try to give it a little bit of dimension. That's what adding a dark rim around things will, kind of give an illusion of dimension. So I'm just kind of filling in all my blanks here. And one thing is you can kind of go back and see where there's any little white that you need to fill in. So we're getting close, got almost all the petals done. It's a really big daisy. So we're going to do the, we're going to use the mid-tone alpine for the veins in the leaves. Could use the dark one too. Whichever you'd prefer. They suggest using the mid-tone, but the dark would be fine also. But the light alpine is really very much of a spring green. It's very bright and very new leaf looking. And you can see that there's the darker color on the inside where the veins are. So it still looks like it's got some kind of, detail to it rather than just keeping everything one flat color. So there we go. There's our leaves. And I like my daisy. So I'm trying to find where my little square went. There it is. So I'm going to see how pretty that looks on the glitter. I am going to use foam to pop the daisy up. And Tombow doesn't work good with glitter, but I think the foam tape it's holding real well. So I'm going to cut off the little stems because they're kind of getting in the way. And I'm going to actually use the foam dots on the leaves. So I'm going to put 3 on each leaflet, and tuck them under. Of course, I need to put the square down first. And there we go. I'm just trying to make it go in the center. And then we've got the leaves going under one side. So you have the flower popped up a little bit so the leaves can go under. And it's nice having the dimension anyway. So these are really pretty cards, I think. I just love the way they came out. Now what I really like is that they're using the stickers with the little sentiments to go on the cards. So that just makes it super easy. And they just they suggest putting, oh, not on this one, it's on the next card. So lovely you. Isn't that pretty? And you can, you can use whatever side of the paper that you want. I'm just using as they have it delineated. This card, once again, is getting a full piece of ballerina, 4¼ by 5½, covering the entire card. And then we've got flamingo, and there's a long piece, so they're like 5¼ inch long, maybe 5 inches long. And I'm going to make little banners out of all of these little strips. These are about 1 by 2s, and they're going to be banners going, or flags, whatever you want to call them, going all the way up the side of one side there. And so we're going to show all of the different papers from Daisy Daisy, which is definitely neat that they're all getting their little time in the sun here. So because they're all so cute, I just think this is such a wonderful set of papers. There we go. And then one of them is going to be a sticker from my sticker sheet. So now this one is going to get the full-length daisy bouquet. So this is really a wonder. I also wish they had this in a thin cut. I'm not asking for too much. Get lazy with these thin cuts. Who wants to fussy cut? Okay, so I'm trying to get, I don't have a 5 by 5 block. I've got this massive 5 by 7 block, and it's just a little unwieldy to control. So you get a lot of ink on on this when you're trying to stamp. See all the ink I got on there? It's like going crazy. So I'm just trying to make sure I've got a good impression before I try to go on here. And I need to clean that block off, otherwise I'm going to have ink all over everything. So I really need, I didn't even know that they made a 5 by 5 block. Surprised the heck out of me. So they must have snuck a new one in on me. Okay, now this is also going to get alpine and pale pink. And so I'm doing the stems in the darkest of the alpine. So I'm just trying to see where the stems are and the little thing that goes under the flower. And here are the leaves. So I'm going to, do the veins dark and then do the leaves in the pale, the lightest of the alpine. So it's kind of hard to see which is a petal and which is a leaf. So now we're going to use the pale pink again, and we're going to use the middle color, and color all of the centers of the daisies. And I'm going to go ahead and color the petals in pale. So this will just take a little while. So while you're watching me color this, let me tell you that I appreciate you watching my videos. Thank you so much for coming back and, give me a thumbs up if you like what you see. Tell me if you like the paper, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. And I just want to let you know I appreciate you. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I'll be doing some more papers coming up tomorrow. A traveling paper. I haven't done it yet. So here I've got another couple of flowers to go. But you could also let me know if if there's anything in particular that you would like to see done. And I will try to accommodate if I can. So I like these daisies. Now this This would be so pretty to have some yellow daisies. You could even make black-eyed Susans with a dark yellow petals and a dark brown interior, and have the colors to coordinate with the background papers. So this could be, these could be done in any kind of color combination. Okay, so I'm taking the mid-tone color and I'm kind of going from the center out to the petals to just add a little bit of depth to, I left out a stem. Sometimes things show up when you color. But anyway, if you add a little bit of the dark, it adds a little bit of depth to the flower. So I'm leaving an equal amount of pink cardstock around my little bouquet. And I'm going to go ahead and put down, well, I didn't have it down very tight, did I? So I'm going to tuck all the little banners up under the centerpiece there. So, and once again, we're showing all the different papers from this set. So we've got the gingham and the daisies, and both sides of the daisies. I guess we're not showing the pink one with the stripes. So I guess we haven't done all of the papers, but all of the green ones. And then the center gets a sticker. And it's a piece of the border that went on top of the other card. So how cute is that card? And you could totally make this with all sorts of color combinations, so be thinking about that. Whatever papers you have that go together. So, and once again, we're using one of the sticker pieces with, of course, a banner cut. So we're using one of the stickers for the sentiment, so it just made it so easy. And I love this little card. I think it's real cheerful, real springy. We have a ways to go for spring, don't we? There we go. Here's the 3 cards, and I just think they did a wonderful job with this Daisy Daisy workshop. You can download these instructions when you go to Daisy Daisy on my closetomyheart.com or dorothy.closetomyheart.com. You go to Daisy Daisy under promotions, and you can download this guide. And even if you don't get the paper, you can still download the guide and use the instructions to make your own layouts. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.